Stated feds working an investigation at the Starr County Tax Office. The two departments have their attention. Our Erica Proffer will let you know what's next there.
And taxpayer money is falling into the wrong hands. Investigators are supposed to look into the fraud. Are they? Our Rebecca Young is investigating the investigators.
Skies are blue valley-wide. A gorgeous day across the area, and it looks like this niceness will continue. We'll check your first 1 to 5 forecast. The Channel 5 News at 5 begins right now.
From the Valley's News Channel, this is Channel 5 News at 5.
Breaking news tops our newscast at 5. A federal appeals court just reinstated the Texas voter ID law. That came down on the wires right before news time. It's another ruling, this one 3 weeks from the November elections.
The court says, and because of that, it is too late to change the rules. Early voting starts Monday. Last week, a judge ruled the rules are unconstitutional and they keep minorities from voting. But as of now, about 14 million registered voters will need to take at least one of 7 forms of photo ID in order to cast their ballot in Texas.
And we are following developing news out of Starr County. No word on if the Starr County Tax Office will reopen tomorrow.
Our Erica Proffer told you at 4 investigators shut down the office today. She's live to explain why that office was closed. Erica, what can you tell us?
The investigators tell us that they are right now looking at how things are run here at the at the Starr County Tax Assessor's office. Right now, this is the time where people should be coming out, getting off of work, but they left hours ago. The District Attorney Omar Escobar said his office, DPS, and FBI are all working a joint investigation. The details are top secret, but we know it's regarding 2 cases, one with the tax office and the other with the vehicle registration office. The investigators did not arrest anyone just yet. The district attorney said that there will be some changes made before they reopen that tax office, but no word on how long that will take. Back in May 2013, the district attorney confirmed $700,000 went missing. We are now working to find out if that closure has anything to do with the prior case. Right now, again, those details top secret, but this isn't the first time for the trouble at the tax office. We are digging through our archives right now to try to bring you the full report tonight at 6. If you need to come to this tax office, there are some things that you should know. Any of the business that's handled out of the tax office will be directed to the county judge's office. It's still within the same building. It's just instead of turning to the left, you'll turn to the right. In Starr County, Erica Proffer, Channel 5 News at 5.
Hidalgo County commissioners are now trying to figure out when they can swear in a new justice of the peace. The mayor of Benitas, Marcos Ochoa, resigned today in an effort to take Ismael Melo Ochoa's position. The two were not related. Melo Ochoa stepped down from the JP Precinct 3 Place 2 position last week. Today, county commissioners appointed Marcos Ochoa to the job, though they say it is not official until he is sworn in.
Breaking new developments out of Brownsville. The Texas Windstorm Insurance Association has agreed to pay nearly $8 million to settle unpaid claims by the school district. Brownsville ISD filed the suit for claims they say were never paid after Hurricane Dolly in 2008. The district's lawyer said he found racist and hateful emails exchanged in 2008 and 2009 between high-ranking TWIA officials. He argued that race was a factor in the denial of the district's claims. That case was heard in a Cameron County State District Court.
We're learning more about a stabbing we first told you about Sunday. Deputies just sent us a photo of the prime suspect. 20-year-old Jose Luis Escamilla is running from an arrest warrant. Investigators think Escamilla confronted the victim at a birthday party. That argument led to the victim being stabbed several times in his back and stomach. The 42-year-old man is still at the hospital. We're told all of this happened inside a home along the 4500 block of Aaron Drive. This is north of Mission. Call authorities if you can tell them where Jose Luis Escamilla is.
A kidney transplant center located at a Valley hospital is no longer on a federal watch list. Last October, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the National Center for Medicare and Medicaid Services singled out McAllen Medical Center's South Texas Transplant Center. for its high adult mortality rate. At the time, stats showed that of 22 patients, or people that is, who underwent kidney transplants between January of 2009 to June of 2011, 16% did not survive within the year of receiving the transplant. Channel 5 News has learned the hospital has since made significant improvements to their patient care and transplant outcomes and was taken off the watch list.
The man accused of using his government-issued vehicle to pick up a load of cocaine is stuck behind bars until trial. Mario Guadalupe Science was in federal court this morning. Science was charged last week, accused of moving more than 20 pounds of coke from the river. He said he was hired to transport the drugs for about $200. If guilty, he could spend at least a decade in prison.
Pretty nice day across the valley today. Sunshine Valley-wide, temperatures back in the 80s, but look at the humidity and the dew point. Humidity's 18%. Not bad, huh? Wind out of the north-northwest about 9. Very dry, very comfortable air across the region. That means a beautiful outdoor cafe kind of evening and a nice night ahead. And it looks like most of this week should be pretty good. Close look at your first 1-5 forecast coming up in a few minutes.
A watchdog agency is all bark and no bite. That's according to a new report by a state commission.
The state commission watches the watchdogs, checking to see if investigators are really doing their jobs. Our Rebecca Young is in our newsroom with more on this story. Rebecca?
Well, the agency is called the Sunset Commission. They make sure investigators root out waste, fraud, and abuse in state programs like the Medicaid program. It's money that should be returned to taxpayers, but often is not. It's been 12 years since the Sunset Commission took a hard look at the work done by fraud investigators at the Health and Human Services Commission. What they found was an agency failing in almost every way. Overall, the Sunset Commission found that fraud investigators aren't familiar enough with the programs they audit and investigate waste, fraud, and abuse only after it occurs. Take more than 3 years on average to wrap up cases. They're supposed to take 60 days. Win back only a fraction of the amount of inappropriate spending it finds. Investigators found more than $1 billion in fraud, but recovered only about $5 million of that for taxpayers. That's 0.5%. Another problem, when would-be criminals know the watchdogs have no teeth, they're more likely to bilk the system.
If you know that somebody is watching, whether it's, an inspector general looking for fraud or a quality police department, that it provides a deterrent effect, against bad actions.
We contacted the head of the Health and Human Services Commission. He says they'll be conducting their own review based on what the Sunset Commission found. The Sunset Commission also had a laundry list of recommendations, including speeding up investigation time and focusing on big-ticket fraud instead of small-time operators. Now, the Sunset Commission says they'll review the Medicaid fraud investigators now every 6 years rather than wait every 12 years like before. Live in the newsroom, Rebecca Young, Channel 5 News at 5.
Rebecca left us a couple of more notes. Prosecutors say Medicaid fraud comes in many forms, including billing the state for services that were not provided and then double billing the state for services.
Also billing for unnecessary services, tests, or visits. All of those things that never happened. If you suspect fraud, you can call the State Attorney General's office at 512-463-2011 or the Health and Human Services Commission at 1-800-436-6184. We're on your side at 5. Just talk to our web producers. They're putting the numbers up at krgv.com. Stay with us. A Dallas Ebola patient got a blood transfusion from an Ebola survivor. We'll tell you how it all worked.
And another health threat hitting Texas, what you need to know and how you can protect yourself 2 minutes away.
Breaking news, breaking stories. This is Channel 5 News with Oscar Adame, Melissa Correa, and First Warn 5 Weather with Chief Meteorologist Tim Smith. This is Channel 5 News at 5.
An official with direct knowledge of the Ebola investigation in Dallas says there are inconsistencies with the latest patient's statements.
Nina Pham, a nurse who helped treat Thomas Duncan, who died of Ebola on Wednesday, that is a nurse that they're talking about. Investigators with the CDC say each time Pham was interviewed, there were inconsistencies in the type of protective gear she wore and also in the process used to put on that gear and then take it off.
You know, Ebola can only be transmitted through bodily fluids like blood and saliva. About 70 staff members drew Duncan's blood, put tubes down his throat, and wiped saliva from his lips. The virus can enter a body a number of ways, like the eyes, nose, mouth, throat, or reproductive organs. Ebola can survive several hours in a dry state. And if the fluid remains wet and at room temperature, it can survive for days outside of the body. An infected person only becomes contagious when they begin to show symptoms.
And Nina Pham is in stable condition this afternoon. She got a plasma transfusion from Dr. Kent Brantley yesterday. You might remember Brantley is the first American who was flown back to the U.S. for Ebola treatment. He also received the experimental drug ZMapp that contains antibodies against Ebola. Doctors believe the antibodies in Brantley's blood will also help Pham fight the infection. Now, plasma is a clear part of the blood that has antibodies. The maker of ZMapp says they are out of the drug. Experts now turning to plasma transfusions as an alternative. And there is another health concern in the country. A rare virus that can turn deadly in young children is going around Texas. 14 cases of enterovirus D68 have been confirmed in North and West Texas. So far, none in the valley.
The virus is contagious, and the symptoms start out like the flu and eventually cause respiratory illness. Dr. Brian Smith with the State Health Department says children and teens with asthma are the most at risk.
And so it's put a number of children into the hospital. Deaths have been very, very rare with it, but it's been a very serious disease for a number of children across the United States.
Dr. Smith says adults can get the virus as well, but usually don't show symptoms. And even though there is no treatment for the enterovirus, there are always ways you can protect yourself and your children. Experts say wash your hands often, avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth with unwashed hands.
Stay away from all those people who were sick. Cover your cough and your sneezing with a tissue or shirt sleeve, not your hands.
And disinfect commonly touched surfaces, and if you feel under the weather, stay home.
Nice day to be out today. A lot of sunshine, mild temperatures, low humidity. The rest of the week looks pretty good, too. When we come back, your first 1-5 forecast. We're in Rincon, Santa Rosa, San Pedro, and the rest of the valley. Next.
And now, First Warn 5 weather with Chief Meteorologist Tim Smith.
Hey folks, quick heads up if you're looking for something to do this weekend. TSTC's Cultural Arts Center in Harlingen is going to be the site of Amazing Skies, Saturday from 2 to 9. AmazingSkies.org is the website. From 2 to 6, all kinds of great indoor hands-on activities for kids of all ages. After dark, the telescopes are going to come out. You'll be able to look up at the night sky. And right in between, right at 6 o'clock, guess who's going to be there? Mike Fossum, our very own astronaut from McAllen, will be speaking at TSTC in Harlingen Saturday. Right at 6 o'clock is when he'll speak. So come early, do some of the indoor activities, stay late, look through telescopes, get an autograph, take a selfie with an astronaut. Cool stuff you can do Saturday. That's at Harlingen's TSTC. Amazing skies going on this weekend. Amazing skies today. Boy, it's just blue as can be. And tonight, great stargazing weather as it should be the next few nights. Temperatures right now in the 80s, pretty much valley-wide. Dew points have fallen into the 30s and 40s pretty much everywhere. And if you look at our lows tonight, we're back in the 50s again. We were 56 this morning, coolest day since the middle of May. Felt good, didn't it? You woke up and walked outside, and it was actually cool. Tomorrow, we're back in the 80s like today, but with the low humidity, it's going to feel just like today. Cool start, sunny, warm afternoon. Rest of South Texas, temperatures relatively mild as well. 80s from here to San Antonio. Houston, 77 right now. Push it out. Look at the rest of the state, and with sunshine wall to wall, it's in the 70s. Northern half of Texas, just a gorgeous day, pretty much statewide. You don't see a cloud anywhere in Texas as high pressure is built in and taking control of the state. And the high is going to be slow to move out. The one that's kind of built right in on top of us will give us really light winds tonight and tomorrow as it kind of fades. But another piece of the high continues building in from the north. So tomorrow, sunny, nice weather again. And even into Thursday, still low humidity, still bright sunshine. The high very slow to move. It's not until Friday that it finally moves a little bit off to the east and the flow turns back out of the southeast and we start to bring warmer, more humid air back into the valley, and that's a slow process that'll happen Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Long-range models do show some tropical moisture getting pulled up into the mix by probably Monday, Tuesday of next week, but the weekend at this point still looks good. Certainly more humid, but look down to the south. Just a little green showing up. Might see an isolated shower Sunday, but a better chance on Monday and Tuesday. We're dry, though, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Looks great the rest of the week. The high, well, the normal's 88. We'll be right in that ballpark, 87, 88, and 90. Nowhere near the records. Pretty close to normal. Gulf is quiet tonight. The Atlantic still watching two systems, this with a 10 and 20% chance of developing, and then Hurricane Gonzalo moving away from the U.S. Virgin Islands today, headed right toward Bermuda. That little dot right there, look, there it is, moving. Right over as a Category 3 sometime late this week, so looks like it's going to be a rough week for the folks in Bermuda. Not here, though, about as nice as it can be. 55 and clear tonight, calm winds, then tomorrow back to 87, sunny, light northerly breeze. Looks like a pretty good day. 7-day forecast. The next 3 days all look pretty nice, just slowly warming up. That goes for the nighttime lows as well. By next week, again, we introduce that chance for showers, maybe a thunderstorm, maybe as early as Sunday, but a better chance beginning Monday and Tuesday. That's your updated First Warn 5 forecast.
Look back at their first 10 years, you can see lots of reasons why they're successful.
A successful life begins in childhood.
The ways that Valley Rider says you can help your child in just 2 minutes. Stick with us. In order for a child to be successful, a Valley writer says they have to grow up smart.
And today's Con Mi Gente, Rick Diaz shows us how you can unleash your child's unlimited potential.
The name of the book is Your Child is Smarter Than You Think, written by Dr. Wanda Draper, a Valley native.
I was born in Rio Hondo, lived there for 10 years before moving to Brownsville. We were very poor, extremely poor. We were poverty-stricken. I grew up coming out of the Depression.
But it's because of her parents, she says, that she is now
Professor Emeritus from the College of Medicine, University of Oklahoma.
Her 30 years of working with thousands of children led her to write the book. In her words, the book bridges the gap between how children think and learn and how they feel and behave.
If you look at adults and then look back at their first 10 years, you can see lots of reasons why they're successful.
In the book, she has plenty of advice. For one, she says, a child's name is their identity and parents should use it as a positive.
Raul Garza, wow, you did a good job on that test. They had 20 questions and you got 16 of them right. Now maybe we can work on those other 4. Instead of saying, Raul Garza, how come you missed those 4 questions? You knew those last night.
It's on Jackson Street in Harlingen at Jackson Street Antiques for her book signing. Owners Leo and Carmen Garza are hosting her.
And I appreciate this gal, Sarah Nicole Parton, because she is a world-class forensic epidemiologist. A sense of wonder. That's one thing we never want to take from children is a sense of wonder. Parents who want their children to be successful in school with academics, all they have to do is play with their children the first 3 years of life, enjoy them, love them, care for them.
She's also an expert witness in certain death row cases. She's currently working on a case where a 37-year-old woman was just exonerated of killing her own child 20 years ago.
And we'll be working with her, doing an evaluation of her, helping her find her place in the world again.
The book takes you from infancy to adolescence.
My parents were very kind, caring, loving parents who always encouraged me.
Your child is smarter than you think. For Channel 5 News, I'm Rick Diaz, Con Mi Gente.
For a look back at all our Con Mi Gente reports, head over to our website, krgv.com.
And if you have a story idea for Con Mi Gente, let us know. Email Rick Diaz at rickd@krgv.com. We need to check in with him and see if he's getting flooded with ideas.
Is that a question?
Flooding to weather. I like that on a dry day when there's not a raindrop to be found, but it works. We'll take it. There's the view outside right now. Blue skies. I'm sure he's just got all kinds of story ideas. The blue skies, a gorgeous day. Looks like the rest of the week will be good too. We'll check that forecast when we come back.
love that speedy cash.
A county office closed as the state and feds launch an investigation. Erica Proffers in Stark County. She'll have the latest about a half hour from now.
And concrete concerns. A mom is worried about kids who are crossing a canal by walking over an irrigation pipe. She's so worried she reached out to 5 on Your Side. We're helping in about a half hour.
And it looks nice again tomorrow and the next day and the next day. Take a look at that. 87, 88, 90 for high temperatures, but lows stay in the 50s for a couple of more nights, which is cooler than we've been in about 6 months. And then by the weekend, we back up around 90, and then you see we'll stay in the 80s first part of next week. That's because of an increased chance of rain for Monday and Tuesday. A little tropical moisture in the mix. We'll track that, have your complete updated First 1-5 forecast coming up at 6 o'clock.
It was so lovely today, huh?
It was a pretty morning.
I told Tim, I said, is everybody just like singing your praises? He said, oh yeah. And then he did this dance.
Hey.
No, he didn't. I wish he did.
Well, you never know.
You never know. Thank you so much for sticking with us. At 5, we're back with all new local headlines in a half hour, including our Erica Proffer, who's live in Stark County.
Be safe. Have a great evening. Bye-bye.